Welcome to the deep dive. You know that dream, right? Being on a gorgeous yacht, amazing views, somewhere totally remote.
Oh yeah, the ultimate escape.
But then reality bites when you try to get online. It's often frustrating.
Definitely. Especially in, say, the Caribbean or the Bahamas. That beautiful scenery often comes with pretty terrible internet.
Slow, unreliable.
Yeah.
It's a real issue, especially for luxury charter yachts.
Yeah.
Guests expect connectivity now, for work, for entertainment.
Absolutely. It's not just a nice to have anymore. A modern luxury yacht needs to be a connected space. It's an extension of home, of the office.
Trying to hold a video call with that connection breaking up. Yeah, not exactly luxurious.
Undermines the whole experience.
Okay, so that's our mission for this deep dive. We're looking at how some pretty smart tech is fixing this.
Right. Things like Starlink for yachts.
And speed bonding. And something called the MDS blender. We've been looking at info from Marine Data Solutions. They seem to be right at the forefront here.
They really are pushing things forward.
And here's the main takeaway for you, right up front. Imagine having internet on your yacht, anywhere, that's just as good as what you have at home.
Seriously fast. Seriously reliable.
We're talking smooth 4K movies, online gaming without lag, proper remote work, the whole deal. Feels like a game changer, doesn't it?
It genuinely is, and it all starts with a pretty fundamental shift in satellite technology.
Let's get into that. So for ages, satellite internet on boats meant those big GEO-VSAT systems, right? Geostationary satellites.
Yeah, the ones orbiting way, way out there, about 22,000 miles up.
But Starlink for yachts, that's different.
Totally different approach. Starlink uses a network, a constellation of low Earth orbit satellites.
Low Earth orbit. So it's closer.
Much closer. We're talking maybe 300 to 500 miles up instead of 22,000.
Wow, okay. That's a huge difference in distance.
Exactly. And that proximity is the key.
So how does being closer actually make the internet better on the yacht? What's the practical effect?
Two main things, latency and speed. Big improvements in both.
Latency. That's the delay, the lag.
Right. Because the signal has a much shorter trip to make, up and back, the latency plummets. With Starlink, you're looking at maybe 20 to 40 milliseconds.
Which is tiny compared to the old systems.
Oh, massively different. And then there's speed, potential download speeds up to 220 megabits per second.
Okay, that really puts the old satellite internet frustrations into perspective.
Yeah.
The endless buffering, the calls dropping.
Especially when you got further away from populated areas.
Yeah, it really limited what you could actually do online.
Absolutely. Those traditional GEO systems, the high latency made anything interactive, like video calls or gaming, almost impossible. And the bandwidth often just wasn't there for multiple users doing demanding stuff.
So Starlink, by being closer, just bypasses those problems.
Fundamentally, yes. It overcomes those hurdles. Plus, the actual hardware, the antennas that Starlink's flat high performance kit, it's built tough.
Right, I saw that. Designed for the marine environment. Rough seas, high winds.
Which is crucial, obviously. You need something that keeps working even when the weather turns nasty.
Right.
Gives you that reliability.
Provide some peace of mind, I bet.
For sure. But even with Starlink being, a huge leap forward, there's another piece to the puzzle for truly seamless internet.
Okay.
And that's this idea of bonding.
Bonding. Okay,
Yeah.
Sounds like sticking things together, like gluing internet connections.
Huh. Yeah, that's actually not a bad way to think about it. Essentially, bonding takes multiple internet sources.
Like Starlink.
Yes, Starlink, but also maybe OneWeb, 5G, cellular if you're near the coast, even the Wi-Fi at the dock.
Right.
And it combines them intelligently into one single connection that's much stronger, more reliable, and often faster.
Okay. So it's not just switching between them, like if Starlink drops, it flips over to 5G.
That's a really key difference. Simple switching or failover just moves you from one to the next. And you can feel that switch, that little interruption.
Yeah, the video freezes for a second.
Exactly. Bonding is different. It actually blends the data streams from the active connections together all at the same time.
So it's using all of them simultaneously.
Pretty much, yeah. It creates a sort of wider pipe for your data. And if one of those sources dips momentarily, the others are already carrying the load.
Like multiple lanes on a highway instead of just one.
That's a great analogy. If one lane gets blocked, traffic keeps flowing in the others. No stoppage.
Okay, that makes total sense. So if Starlink has a brief wobble, maybe switching satellites or something, the other connections just smooth it over instantly.
Without you even noticing. That's the goal. Seamless continuity.
That sounds incredibly useful. And you mentioned speed bonding specifically. Is that a brand name or?
Skate bonding is more like a A specialized type of bonding. It really focuses on managing that combined bandwidth super efficiently.
How so?
It dynamically spreads the data across all the connections to maximize your overall speed, squeezing out every bit of performance.
Okay, so we've got Starlink for the base speed and low latency. Then bonding, like speed bonding, makes it more robust and potentially faster by combining sources.
Sure, you got it.
Now, the other piece mentioned in the material we looked at was the MDS blender. Where does that fit?
Right, the MDS blender, think of that as the physical hub, the device that actually does the bonding.
From Marine Data Solutions.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's the box that acts as the central point where all these different internet lines come in.
How many can it handle?
Typically up to 4 separate sources. So you could have, say, 2 Starlinks for extra redundancy.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, plus maybe a 5G connection and the Marina Wi-Fi input. It brings them all together.
Gotcha. It's the central intersection point for all the data streams. Then what?
Then it performs that intelligent merging we talked about. It creates that single, stable, high-bandwidth pipe out to the Yachts network.
And the result is you can have lots of things happening online at once.
Exactly. That's the payoff. You can have someone streaming a 4K movie, someone else gaming, another person on a critical video conference.
All at the same time, without things grinding to a halt.
Without any noticeable slowdown. It manages the capacity and ensures stability.
And you said before, it handles dropouts seamlessly if one connection fails.
Precisely. The blender is constantly monitoring each connection. If it sees Starlink, for instance, go offline for a moment, maybe a satellite handover or bad weather, bam.
It just reroutes.
Instantly reroutes the traffic over the other active connections. 5G, the other Starlink, whatever's working.
And the user sees nothing.
Nothing. No dropped call, no buffering wheel. It's completely seamless from the user's perspective. That failover is key to the whole experience.
That really is the dream, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just internet that works no matter what.
Yeah, no more connection anxiety.
Okay, let's make this concrete. What does this feel like for someone on board? Give us some real-world examples.
Okay, sure. Think about those movie nights on the hook they mentioned. You're anchored in some amazing remote bay.
Miles from anywhere.
Exactly. And you can just stream a 4K movie perfectly clear, no buffering. That just wasn't reliably possible before.
That alone sounds like a massive upgrade. What else?
Well, for gamers, the low latency from Starlink plus the rock-solid connection from the bonding and the blender.
Means no lag.
Smooth, real-time, online gaming. You can't blame the connection anymore if you lose.
Ah, I can imagine that's a big plus for some guests. What about people needing to work?
This is huge for remote work. It transforms the possibilities.
How so?
You've got reliable, fast internet, so not just email. Proper video meetings, clear audio, no dropouts. You can even do really high bandwidth stuff.
Like what?
Financial trading, maybe complex video conferencing, screen sharing, things that need serious bandwidth and stability. All from the yacht, middle of nowhere.
Wow. It really does blur the lines between being at sea and being, properly connected.
It offers flexibility and productivity that just wasn't achievable before offshore.
So it really covers the whole range: leisure, fun, serious business. It's not just about Instagramming the sunset, though I'm sure that happens too.
Of course. But the capability runs much deeper now.
Okay. Briefly, what about setting all this up? Is installing Starlink and these bonding systems complicated on a yacht?
Well, the Starlink antenna itself, the flat, high-performance one, is designed for marine use, so that part's fairly straightforward. It's built for it.
But integrating it with the blender and other systems?
For that optimal setup, yeah, getting the bonding working perfectly with multiple inputs, you really want experienced marine electronics technicians.
Professionals who know yachts and know this tech.
Exactly. To make sure it's all integrated seamlessly and performing at its best. It's sophisticated stuff.
Makes sense. And looking down the road, what's next for internet at sea?
Oh, it's only going to get better. Starlink is still launching satellites constantly, expanding coverage and capacity.
More satellites, better service.
And 5G tech keeps improving, maybe pushing further offshore eventually, so we can expect even faster speeds, more reliability in more places.
But the bonding part remains important.
Absolutely crucial. Speed bonding, Starlink bonding. Combining those multiple paths will still be the key to guaranteeing that truly fast, bulletproof connection, especially way out in remote areas.
So it seems like those days of being digitally marooned at sea are really ending, at least for yachts that adopt this tech.
I think so. The combination of LEO satellites like Starlink, smart bonding, and robust hardware like the blender.
Yeah.
It's a different world now for marine connectivity.
Okay, let's pull this together. We've seen how Starlink, with its closer satellites, brings much faster speeds and lower latency to yachts, even far from land.
A fundamental improvement.
Then, technologies like speed bonding and devices like the MDS blender take it further. They combine multiple internet sources
Starlink, 5G, Wi-Fi.
into one super reliable, high-bandwidth connection. They manage the data flow smartly and handle any dropouts from one source without you noticing.
Seamless is the word.
And the result? You get an online experience on a yacht streaming, gaming, working that genuinely rivals what you'd expect back home. It's a huge leap for the luxury yacht world.
It really is. It makes the internet aspect effortless, removing that barrier.
It lets people just enjoy being at sea without feeling cut off.
Exactly.
Which does make you think. When truly seamless, high-speed global connectivity is just there, even in the middle of the ocean, what else does that enable?
Good question.
Beyond the entertainment and work, think about, I don't know, real-time scientific data from remote waters, better emergency comms. Maybe just understanding parts of the planet we rarely see.
Yeah, the possibilities for exploration, communication.
What new things become possible when that digital distance disappears for those on the water. It's definitely something interesting to ponder. Thanks for exploring this with us.